That's not a flex. Bragging about Lucien Grange hooking you up don't look so good right now, do it? That ain't aging all that well. Because everybody know that Lucien has been Diddy and Deshaun Carter. They sugar baby.
And there's ways to manipulate numbers in hip hop or in music, period. And they know how to do
numbers.
it.
It's all
no, but they know how to manipulate it. Meaning, they know how to buy records. They know how to do things like that to get your numbers up high. And they did it with fucking Music Soul Child. They'll never sit there and say it, but the facts is the facts. So it's all good.
And Irv Gotti was entwined with Diddy. He's one of Diddy boys. He's big time in that ring with Bad Boys. Isn't it ironic that this month and next month they're gonna start releasing names? Who else was involved with Diddy?
Sean Diddy Combs is facing yet another major controversy after newly leaked footage featuring Irv Gotti surfaced, potentially changing the entire narrative surrounding him. The explosive video has sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community, with fans and insiders speculating about its implications. Diddy, known for his cool demeanor, reportedly went ballistic after the footage made its way online, sparking intense discussions about his past dealings and long-standing rumors. With his legal troubles already mounting, this latest revelation could be a game changer, putting even more pressure on the embattled music mogul.
You know, everybody's forgetting how he sat there and slut-shamed the shit out of Ashanti.
He did.
And then talked about that music and then bragged about how he sold all of their publishing rights to that weirdo vampire, Lucien Grange. And he sat there, I don't have to worry about BET because, you know, see, I know people like Lucien Grange. So did Diddy. He f***ed Diddy. Did he f*** you too? Like, it's just...
Man.
Straight off the back like that. Throwing around some big names there. Whoa. Jaguar right. These are not my words. I am not telling you the story.
The leaked Irv Gotti footage has thrown gasoline on the already raging fire surrounding Diddy, sending social media into a frenzy. While the exact contents of the video remain under scrutiny, insiders claim it sheds new light on past events that could drastically shift public perception of the bad boy mogul. Diddy, who has been battling multiple allegations and legal issues, reportedly lost his temper upon learning about the leak, with sources suggesting he's scrambling to control the fallout.
Hov is Hov. Don't get it. Hov don't need nobody. Once Hov got on, he was the guy I would be like, he didn't need nobody. Like X needed people around him to help him. Ja needed me to help him. Hov, once he got on, he didn't need nobody. He could do it all himself. He'll pick the beats, fuck with the producer. He didn't need nobody.
Some speculate this could connect to long-standing conspiracy theories involving Tupac, Biggie, and the darker side of the music industry. As pressure mounts, fans and critics alike are eager to see how Diddy will respond and whether this footage could be the final nail in the coffin of his empire.
He was riding in the limo. He seen some white dudes beating up some black dudes. He jumps out. Yo, get from whatever. They pull a gun out on him. That should have been the end of the night. These niggas got pistols. Thing. He goes back to the limo. Man, give me my gun.
It was Black Panther shit.
And blast them.
They have to be police. It was unpolice.
Yeah, that's what he got off on. He beat that case.
Yeah, he beat that.
No one's pocket. I don't know no rapper that's doing that.
It came from the horse's mouth. He said he got all the paperwork to prove it. Kirk Burrow said it plenty of times, but nobody won't sit down with him. I mean, like, you know, you won't get none of these, you know, these radio stations and all this stuff like that to sit down with him. He said, I got the paperwork. And you get a person like me that don't give a damn and I repeat it and tell it. Oh, dude capping, dude looking for attention. No, it happened. Now other people coming out talking about it. They putting Jay-Z was a part of it. They telling their story, and it all is coincide what we said years ago, what we said on platforms before.
Irv Gotti, born Irving Lorenzo, was a major force in the music industry. Hailing from Hollis, Queens, he faced a tough upbringing, but remained determined to succeed. His love for hip-hop led him to master DJing and music production, paving the way for his influential career.
I'd rather die enormous than live dormant. That's how we on it.
But that line, die enormous than live dormant, that's how we on it. Living the American dream with a vengeance. I'm gonna get it. I don't give. I'm gonna get it.
And you got to understand the reason, right? Why does that guy think like that? Right? How do you arrive at that point? You got to also look at that. You have to look at that. You got to look at the environments and places we live in, and how things are set up, and how things are structured, and how we're always a totem pole, even from our schools, our roads to
Irv Gotti, because I know that he's into saving the youth as well, and I seen him with his children playing board games and enjoying himself and just enjoying life. And he's one of us. He went up against the federal government and he beat them. He's one of them that could say he beat them, and it ain't a handful that could say that they beat the federal government.
Gotti, the renowned music executive and co-founder of Murder Inc. Records, passed away on February 5th, 2025 at the age of 54. His family announced his passing on social media, leaving the hip-hop community in mourning. While the official cause has not been confirmed, reports suggest that Gotti had been battling heart-related issues and strokes in the years prior to his passing.
Gotti, a huge music producer, died at the age of 54 this week. He worked with some of the biggest people in the music industry like DMX, Ja Rule, Ashanti. He, I guess, passed away on Wednesday in New York City. It's at this time, while I'm recording, not really sure how he died. We do know that he had a lot of medical issues that he suffered with over the years, had a lot of health problems. He suffered a stroke last year. He was walking with the aid of a cane. He had been very open with his struggles with diabetes. He wasn't consistent with taking his insulin. He admitted to that, and that his doctors had encouraged him to change his diet, which he also struggled to do. So we'll see if that played a factor in his death. But a lot of people obviously speaking out about it. He also worked with Jay-Z on his debut album. I mean, just a really big deal in the music industry. You probably know his name. Vanessa Carlton worked with him to produce her big album back in 2007, Heroes and Thieves. So everyone kind of knew who he was. He had left a lasting impression on the music industry, but he passed away.
New this morning, Irv Gotti, a Queens native and founder of Murder Inc. Records, has died. The mogul's real name, Irving Lorenzo Jr. His cause of death has not been released, but the music mogul did suffer a stroke last year and had long battled diabetes-related issues. Irv Gotti was a noted record executive, music producer, and entrepreneur. He rose to fame in the late 90s and early 2000s while working with artists including Ja Rule, Ashanti, and DMX. Irv Gotti was 54.
Tributes pouring in today for a hip-hop pioneer. Irv Gotti, the founder of Murder Inc. Records, has died. He's just 54 years old.
Gotti, whose real name is Irving Lorenzo, founded the label with his brother in the late 1990s. Over the years, he worked with top artists and helped launch the careers of many, including Ja Rule and Ashanti. His family says he died yesterday, surrounded by family and friends.
The speculation surrounding Diddy's potential involvement in Irv Gotti's tragic passing has ignited heated discussions within the music industry. Many believe their long-standing tension, fueled by Gotti's outspoken criticism of Diddy's alleged unethical business practices, played a significant role. Gotti frequently voiced his grievances in interviews and on social media, calling out Diddy for mistreating artists. In a particularly striking interview, he accused Diddy of manipulating the industry for his own gain. The controversy has only deepened with the emergence of past comments and new revelations. leaving many to question whether there was more to their rivalry than just industry competition.
2025, Irv Gotti have several strokes and his family going to the hospital to say goodbye. It's not adding up to me. It seems like everybody that come around Diddy dies. Now Diddy in jail. So Diddy didn't do this. So who out here working with Diddy? Who else got something to lose? Maybe Oprah, Tyler Perry, Jay-Z, Clyde Davis, Lucian Granger, Usher.
Did he not? I know he has some money. Why is everybody that don't need Ozempic actually have it and the people that actually need Ozempic are not getting it? Is there some type of situation? Also, you had money access for private chefs, private cooks. And somebody you don't even need to do. You could hire somebody full time to go around with you and give you the insulin when you needed it. Moreover, there are a lot of studies, not even studies, proof, overseas and even in America, I think even Harvard University Medical School acknowledged that type 2 diabetes can now be cured with diet and exercise. Now, I don't know if he was so far gone that it couldn't help, but he was definitely in the situation that his money could afford to make sure he lived the healthiest lifestyle.
There's new allegations against Sean P. Diddy Combs. A Texas attorney says he now represents, get this, 120 alleged victims, male and female.
These types of allegations are not new for Diddy. He has allegedly been involved in Tupac's demise. The speculations stem from the intense East Coast-West Coast rivalry that was dominating the hip-hop scene in the 1990s, particularly between Diddy's Bad Boy Records and Suge Knight's Row Records. Tupac, a key figure in the West Coast hip-hop scene, had a well-known feud with both Diddy and Biggie Smalls, who was signed to Bad Boy.
So Diddy killed Tupac and Biggie Smalls? Am I hearing this right? Prosecutors confirmed that Diddy's name was used 77 times in documentation alleging that Diddy was the one that put the hit out on Tupac. Keefe D, the man who is convicted of and has admitted to killing Tupac, confirms that Diddy offered him $1 million for the hit. So back in the 90s, Diddy was doing a West Coast tour and hired Keefe D to be his bodyguard. Keefe D says it's at that time that Diddy offered him $1 million to kill Tupac.
Over time, this rivalry led to a lot of speculation about who might have been behind Tupac's tragedy. Some believe that Diddy could have played a role, either directly or indirectly, in escalating tensions that contributed to Tupac's tragic end.
And if you're thinking Keefe D just brought this up now because Diddy's already in a heap of shit, you're wrong. Court records indicate this was brought to the prosecutor's attention back in 2009. Now, Eminem has stepped it up a notch, saying that not only did Diddy kill Tupac, he killed Biggie Smalls too.
Gene Deal, a former associate of Diddy and a bodyguard for Notorious B.I.G., has been outspoken in his suspicions about Diddy's involvement in the events surrounding both Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls' tragedies.
How you feel about the people that say Biggie was asking for him coming to LA so soon after Tupac got killed and him getting on the radio rapping Long Kiss Goodnight?
Man, you would get 100 people in the room, and out of the 100 people, probably 3 would say it was all right for Big to be in LA. 97% of those people would say he had no business in LA at that time. We all knew that. Why would Puff rent studio time? Come on, man, look. You gotta look at what people do, man.
One of the most significant allegations he's made is that Diddy intentionally brought Biggie to Los Angeles in March 1997, despite knowing the city was a volatile environment. At that time, tensions between East Coast and West Coast hip-hop artists were at an all-time high, and the feud was widely known to have put lives at risk.
You know Pac just got killed. It ain't no kind of business Big was doing. Big couldn't even walk, he couldn't run. They was pushing him around in a wheelchair, brother. Why the hell would you rent studio time at LA for him to finish your album when in fact you got your own studio, Daddy's house? Let's keep it a buck. Let's stop this bullshit, man.
Deal has suggested that Diddy's actions, particularly in arranging Biggie's trip to LA, might have been a deliberate move, given the dangerous atmosphere that had already been established between the two coasts.
Y'all want the sheep? I'm gonna put them out the pasture. Catch them if you can. If you the wolf, if you got that wolf in you, catch them if you can. Why in the hell you would put your man in a situation by sending him to Cali to work on your album when you know not his limits, but your limits?
Gotti has been vocal about the need to protect young artists from the pitfalls of streaming exploitation. He, along with other industry veterans like Suge Knight, Jay Prince, and Dame Dash, pushed for the creation of an artist union. The goal of this union was to ensure fair compensation and better working conditions for musicians in the digital age.
Suge Knight was trying to meet up with Dame Dash, Irv Gotti, Jay Prince. They was trying to get a distribution company.
It wasn't a distribution.
It was a union. Honestly, it was all Suge's idea.
It was all his plan, and it was a hell of a plan, man. He was like, yo, we get all the artists together. And he wasn't just talking about hip-hop, every artist in general. And he was like, okay, say you got $1 million budget.
So instead of $1 million, you'd have $1.1 million with $100,000 going to the union.
Now this will all get recouped back to the artist. It'll go towards an annuity. It'll go towards a retirement fund.
And it was easy metrics because instead of you recouping $1 million, you recoup $1.1 million.
Someone left that meeting talking about our movement. Unfortunately, the feds hit all of us at the same time, which I don't think was a coincidence.
Jay went and told. He went and told. He blew the spot up. Feds came in and started hitting niggas with cases because they all said, yo, we gonna put our money together. Now think about it now, how everybody getting robbed off the streaming.
So I was watching A&E, and it was Gangster Week. And lo and behold, today's episode is on Albert Anastasia and the notorious Murder Incorporated. Murder Inc. came across the TV, riddled with bullets. I start screaming, that's it. I'm going crazy in my house. Like, just imagine me by myself in my boxes and a t-shirt. That's it. Because at the time, the two biggest labels was Death Row and Bad Boy. So Death Row had, the Death Row, and they used to call their artists Death Row inmates.
Gene Deal, a former bodyguard for Diddy, claimed that Combs alerted authorities about Suge Knight, Irv Gotti, and Jay Prince's plans to launch a music distribution company and possibly a union. This allegation has sparked intense controversy and speculation within the music industry, with many questioning Diddy's motives and potential role in undermining their efforts. The revelation has reignited debates about power struggles in hip-hop.
Well, I actually thought it was either a distribution or some kind of publishing company, but I heard Irv Gotti speak on this. But way back then, I was told it was a distribution of some kind of publishing company that he was doing. But I guess Irv would know more than I knew. But they were talking about Suge Knight was trying to form a union. That's what he was saying. But back in the day, people thought it was a distribution where blacks would distribute their own music through, distribute their own music and stuff like that. So that's what we thought it was back then. But it was truth behind the fact that it was Jay-Z and Puff that went to those folks and let them know what Suge Knight was trying to do. And so that's how all those other labels got raided. Rap-A-Lot, Rockefeller got on the list. And Rockefeller got on the list because of the fact that Dame and Jaden was breaking up anyway.
Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.